Hi, I'm Julian Spaber. I'm gonna talk about my journey or my experience creating my first GTK application called Teleport. Like a year ago or so, I wanted to create a GTK application, but didn't know what actually, at least at the beginning. And then with a friend, who is actually a designer, we were in the same room and we had to share a file. How do you do that? How do you share a file on a local network normally? Do you use Samba, network share, OwnCloud, Nextcloud, instant messaging, email?
No, you just give up.
You give up. Use Speaky. Best way with Speaky, I guess. Who does use USB key? I use USB key to share a file in the local network. I do that too. So we were thinking about this, how could we resolve that problem by connecting something like instant messaging to sharing a file, but not to have the file shared with a remote server to upload it somewhere else, because most of the time we don't have a really good internet connection. At least not everybody. Yeah, in Italy it's getting better. Whatever. We focus on the local network to have something like this, a push notification that you send somebody a file. I'm Julian, by the way, so I'm sending my friend a file, and he will see something like that. Julian's laptop is sending you a file MD as a markdown file, and he can accept it or reject it if he don't like to work with me, whatever. So yeah, we started to think about this, and so we can directly go to a demo because it will be really quick. I did. Why you're not on my Wi-Fi? Yeah, the problem with this is that, do you see it now? That on public Wi-Fi, for example, many clients can't, normally clients can't talk to each other, luckily. And Telegram doesn't work. Do you see it now?
No, I can't connect to your phone.
Why? Now? Let's start Telegram, Teleport. I confused those two. Maybe we should change the name. So, this is Teleport. We keep the user interface quite simple. Oh, okay. I have, because before my laptop died. So, no, I can't do it from here. That's so bad. Can I do it? Can I use a sudo like this? Oh yeah, I can do. Oh, nice. So, now I'm searching for devices, and you still can't see me? That's crazy. We tried it before. That's so sad. I can try to switch off the Wi-Fi and switch it on back. Maybe your Wi-Fi is just bad. I can use 5G actually. Okay. Whatever. Not gonna show you the demo, sadly. I don't even have pictures. Whatever. Can you try to keep connecting to my Wi-Fi? So, let's go back to the project. It's actually design-driven. So, from the very beginning, we focused on, we defined a task we want to resolve. What do we want to do? Like solving the problem I described before, sharing a file on a local network. obviously sometimes we have additional problems that Wi-Fi doesn't work.
Oh, now it works actually.
Now it works. Oh, thanks. Awesome. Oh, yes.
All right. Now I'm sending something.
Oh, alrighty. So we see here that I got a notification and from a photo, actually. Let's see what it is. I save it, and I can directly open it here or show it in the folder, but open it. And that's the portal. Does anybody know what's a portal?
It's a
Flatpak thing? We're going to talk about it later, slightly. Yeah, they're selling socks. It works. And we also have like really nice, let's put it there. Damn it. Like we can drop it there. And he got the same notification or send it there. So it's quite basic. We have minimal settings for now, but we are working on that. Let's go back to the design-driven project and the description. So we focused on the task to simplify also the user interaction, and we tried at the beginning to start with just an application which works, that we can directly test it on users and see what we have to change in the user experience. Like you saw, show in folder. Previously it was move to folder, and we had to implement something like actually a file dialog which allows the file to be saved somewhere else. But we figured out that it's much easier that we just showing the download folder, and the user can copy it from Nautilus somewhere else. And that's the awesome thing about an MVP, what means minimal valuable product, which is a minimum set of specifications we really need to have a working application, and which user can already use. Also, like many designers say, best UI is no UI. We respected that, but we went a step further. We think the best UI are notifications, because they're not distracting as much as an UI when you have to switch to another application. It's much better integrated in your workflow. Also, a tip for developers. How many developers are here? Most? Who is not a developer? Yeah, more than expected, actually. So my suggestion is to get a developer on board. Obviously, not everybody can have a really good friend who is an awesome developer like Tobias is. Designer, sorry. But still, try to get one on board so that you as a developer can focus on what you're really good at, like actually coding. And you can do what you love, and you don't have to mess with, where should I put this button? Do you really care about that? But I care about user experience. I care about having users. If my application isn't usable, yeah, why do I do it? Why do I do the work, right? So at the beginning, we try to create a Electron app, which is not native at all. But I actually wanted to create a GTK application. So we went to write a native application for GNOME, actually. And also, C is not that hard. Who writes C code? Who loves writing C code? Oh, fewer. Yeah, I like writing C code because it's quite simple. Like you have really basic constructs like if, for, and variables, and more or less that's it. Yeah. I saw those confused faces, but it's not. For the beginning, you can already do something with that. And also, we have really awesome, at least in the GNOME community, we have really awesome applications. And one advantage of open source and free software is that we can look at each other. We can look at code of other people. And for example, if you want to start GTK development with C, you can have a look at GNOME To Do, which is a really awesome app, at least code-wise, and the UI is getting improved constantly. So now we somehow know how to start, but how can we ship an application to users and test the usability and the user experience and get an immediate feedback, because we are working with designers and also they need to know what users think, how do they interact. Therefore, we used Flatpak, which is a really awesome, let's say, container system, package management. Not a technical description. And we used nightly builds. Like for most of the change, we built it, published it, and got often feedback already. Or we could really easily test it on friends' machines, or also on a second we had at home. Then for the first release, we didn't have to do much because it's already Flatpaked. And so we created a release, it's done, and you can immediately install it to all GNU Linux-based machines. That's the advantage of Flatpak. And there's FlatHub, which is like an app store for Flatpaks. But since for now we only created a really basic version of Teleport, we obviously have already from the start plans for the future. Like most people, I think, have plans for the future for their projects, and we are thinking about sending multiple files, but that's not essential to be able to use the app. Also, we would like to add a more complete settings menu. Let's call it menu. That, for example, users can change the device name on inside Teleport. Also, we would really like to have encryption, because when we are on a public network, yeah, safety should be an issue. Also, we would really like, which actually was one of the main goals, to have clients for different platforms like Android, iOS, also Windows and macOS. If somebody is interested in contributing like a client for another platform, talk to me. I would be excited to get something done there. So we have future plans. So I really hope I got for designers some insight in my progress, how I got started with GTK and how I work. And I hope also that I showed a good reason to developers to get designers on board. Already in the start, already way before writing code, but also to let them participate to the project, because they can take off your shoulders a lot of load, which, for example, when you're learning a new language, it's quite difficult if you have also to think, where should I put that button? Which font should the text be? What should I write there? And in this sense, this is my Twitter handle, Julian_Sparber, or drop me an email. And yeah, thank you. Yeah, please.
Do you feel that since you started with design and then implemented, that the GTK, was constraining because it didn't allow you to do what the designer thought it was best, or it was okay?
Actually, since let's say my personal designer is quite involved in GNOME and the GNOME designer, so he actually knows what he can do with GNOME technology. But I often talk to him, no, we can't do that because it's way too complicated to implement. And then we had really often back and forth to discuss how we could do something. And it's an interaction between two people or more people. It's not like a designer is coming to your project and he's saying, we have to do it this way. You will, on the way, also learn, you can also learn something about design and then create together something, like a project. Does that respond to your question? Oh, I have to repeat the question. The question was, can you repeat the question?
If starting with the design, then the GTK, going to the GTK was limiting.
Okay, the question was if GTK is limiting the possibility of implementing a design proposed by designer. Other questions? Yeah, please.
I think an easy way to share files on a network is to start a web server. So it's cross-platform, and you can start it, send a link with your messenger, and then you can just download it on any device.
Yeah. So it wasn't actually a question. It was more a suggestion.
I think the question could be like, what do you use in the back to send the file?
Oh, I using lib. The question was what am I using on the back end to send files? It's libsoap, which is a web server. Yeah. Yeah, it's a basic web server library, a GTK library. It's part of glib.
Isn't it going to be easier to have the client pull instead of you pushing to the client?
How does the client know? The question was, isn't it easier that the client is pulling the file than pushing it? It's actually that way. Like the computer which is sending a file is sending a notification that I'm offering you that file. You can download it from that URL. So it's actually the same as sharing, creating your own HTTP server from the terminal and then sharing the link with somebody. It's the same thing, just with a different user experience. I do that all the time, like creating a HTTP server and sharing the link, but it's too much work actually. And the discovery is handled by Avai. Do I pronounce it right? I don't think so.
I think the nice integration would be like in the file system, if you could just right-click and say share this on the network for 5 minutes, and then it copies the link and you just paste it in your...
Yeah, that would be also nice, but different use case actually, because you still have to use like Telegram or any instant messenger to share it.
But then you're open to share it out in
Yeah.
The question in two parts. The first part is does this have anything to do with people nearby functionality
Of the laptop itself.
of GNOME?
Yeah.
And the second part of this is that I know that does communicate with Macs quite well. So
With Max, sorry? What?
Mac,
Mac,
Apple
yeah.
Mac.
Okay.
So is it possible that this could be interoperable with AirDrop?
I actually don't know how AirDrop works. I don't have a Mac, so I couldn't try it on my own computer and didn't got never around to try it. But it could be possible. we are using actually Avai, which is an implementation of Bonjour. And so it could be possible, but we should, like the airdrop is proprietary, and I think, is it proprietary? I think so. Yeah, I think so. That they didn't. I don't think they allow third people to develop applications for that, I guess. Thanks. Other questions? The project, by the way, is public on gitlab.gnome.org, but you can find it also on GitHub, or just search for Teleport. You will find it.